The number of COVID-19 cases continues to rise globally and right here in Guyana. Therefore, we encourage everyone to practice social distancing. Wear a mask if you have to leave your homes and wash your hands thoroughly and frequently as we all strive to stop the spread of the virus. Welcome to InfoHub for Friday, May 15. Thanks for joining us. Today is International Day of Families, so if you haven't done so as yet, please take some time to reflect on the important role the family plays in our daily lives. Now for the news. Efforts to expand testing for COVID-19 are on the way as the Public Health Ministry will be looking to set up additional COVID-19 test facilities in Regions 3 and 6. Details from Delicia Haynes.
2 of these facilities have been established in Region 4 in April. These were set up encouraging more persons in Region 4 to come forward and get tested for the coronavirus, as the region has been identified as the epicenter for transmission of the virus. This is according to Deputy Chief Medical Officer Dr. Karen Gordon-Boyle, who noted that this is a specific move by the ministry to slow down transmission by having more persons tested.
Those of you who have come forward to visit the locations in Herstelling and Paradise, I commend you for this brave effort. We are pleased to announce that very soon, residents of Region 3 and 6 will have similar facilities available for their residents. Please understand that transmission can only be reduced or stopped if we are able to separate those who test positive from those who are not infected.
Meanwhile, the mobile units which were launched in April will be moving to some communities.
As we expand our testing, please be reminded to make use of the mobile units that are available in some communities. For the weekend and the upcoming week, our focus for this activity will be in Le Parfait Harmony on the west bank of Demerara and South Rheinveld. Please refer to our Facebook page for a more detailed location of these units.
This is where, instead of going to a health facility, persons who think they may have been in contact with a positive case or are displaying signs and symptoms of COVID-19 can be properly screened and tested for the disease. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
In more COVID-related news, the Ministry of Social Protection says it has been working diligently in collaboration with the Public Health Ministry in implementing protocols to mitigate the spread of the COVID-19 virus within the Palms Elderly Care Facility. It noted that unfortunately, despite the efforts of the ministry between May 1 and 14th, 5 residents, 4 males and 1 female, as well as a patient care assistant, were tested positive for COVID-19 at the institution. Regrettably, 1 male resident has since died. The ministry extends condolences to his relatives and friends. To manage and mitigate the possible threat of an outbreak at the Palms, visitors have been barred from entering the facility, and all staff members have been equipped with protective equipment to perform their duties along with other measures. Those residents who have tested positive for the virus, the ministry said, are being cared for in a separate area of the home, and the ward which housed the positive cases and associated areas are sanitized twice daily. The Social Protection Ministry is assuring the general public that it will continue to take necessary steps to ensure the protection of residents, care personnel and other staff at the Palms Elderly Care Facility. Now let's tell you that Guyana's permanent representative to the OAS, or Organization of American States, Dr. Ryan Insanali, has firmly stated that Guyana is a democratic nation and intends to remain so. He was speaking recently during a meeting of the OAS's Permanent Council. Felicia Valenzuela tells us more.
Speaking at a meeting of the OAS Permanent Council, Dr. Riyad Insanali stated that, as recognized by the OAS Elections Observer Mission and other international observers, the general and regional elections on March 2, 2020 was free, fair and orderly and conducted according to the laws of Guyana. He acknowledged that after March 2nd, there were developments regarding the elections which caused a delay in an official declaration of the results and led to His Excellency President David Granger and the leader of the opposition, Mr. Barrett Jagdeo, agreeing to a recount of votes cast in the elections, with a CARICOM team leading the observation process. Dr. Insanali also admitted that the process had been delayed further by legal challenges which he said have now added significantly to the jurisprudence related to Guyana's electoral laws and procedures, and which serve the purpose of removing legal impediments to the recount. Quote, "This is evidence, Mr. Chairman, that Guyana remains governed by the rule of law with a full respect for the separation of powers and the independence of the judiciary. Indeed, there has been no breakdown in the rule of law or public order in Guyana. End of quote. The Guyana representative urged the OAS to note the following facts: that the electoral process is managed by the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM, that it is an independent body constitutionally charged to conduct and supervise the elections, and that the executive branch of government has never tried to influence, interfere with, or instruct GCOM. The president, Dr. Insinali said, admitted with the agreement of the leader of the opposition to find a way forward by inviting CARICOM to support a recount by GCOM. Quote, "At all times, the executive branch, GCOM, and indeed all stakeholders have been respectful of the ruling of the courts." End of quote. The Guyana ambassador said while the electoral process is not yet complete, once the recount is finalized, the results will be cleared in accordance with the law, paving the way for the swearing in of a president. This, he noted, has been repeatedly stated by President Granger. Dr. Insinali also made it clear that in spite of COVID-19, the recount has begun. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
GCOM Commissioner Vincent Alexander has dismissed claims by the opposition leader that he is involved in any electoral fraud. More from Isaiah Braffett.
Alexander said he is yet to see any evidence brought forward by the opposition leader that points to him being involved in electoral fraud. He described the actions of the opposition leader as an opportunity to score cheap political points.
I have a reputation that stands scrutiny, a reputation which has been attested to, even by those people who are now trying to drag me through the mud.
Alexander said that it is impossible for any commissioner to attempt electoral fraud since any decision emanating from the commission is made collectively.
I am quite certain that there is absolutely no personal gain to be derived by me. I am not actively involved in the political landscape. My job, as I understand it, is as a constitutional officer to work towards the realization of the Constitution. As for financial gain, I didn't arrive with GCOM yesterday. I've been there for 13 years. I've been in the public service for, prior to that, 25 years at the University of Guyana. And my reputation stands scrutiny.
Given what was said by Jagdio, Alexander noted that he is in the process of discussing the matter with his lawyers. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
More news after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Jamaica with a message from my people. We don't know when COVID-19 will go, so for now better stay at home. Oh, we don't know, so let we try and cope. Sanitize or use a soap. Oh, I won't stop, and don't you stop. Responsibility is what you've got to self-preserve the health you've got. Good hygiene we need to all adopt. I won't stop, don't you stop. Stay away from crowds cause it's way too packed. We all should stay 3 feet away, and in time we make this fire stop.
This is a message from Tamika Marshall and the Ministry of Public Health in collaboration with PAHO, WHO.
Thanks for staying with us. The Caribbean Examination Council revealed today that the integrity of the CSEC and CAPE examinations remain intact. This follows the recent decision by the Council for Human and Social Development to hold the exams in July. Details from Letitia Isaacs.
Students whose schools have access to technology infrastructure will be administered the CSEC and CAPE examinations through the e-testing modality. Students without internet access will be required to sit the conventional paper exam. This was disclosed by CXC Registrar and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Wayne Wesley during an online press conference. The administration of a single multiple choice paper and paper 3-2 for external candidates will be done in July. The expanded moderation exercise, according to CXC, is in keeping with their quality assurance and standards to ensure that candidates are assessed fairly across the board.
When concerns were raised about the e-testing modality, the CXC panel pointed to countries such as the British Virgin Islands and Anguilla, which have already been using this method for the administration of the tests. The examinations will produce valid grades and test skills and competencies learned in the 5 to 7 years of learning in secondary schools. The deadline for school-based assessments SBAs and internal assessments IAs is June 30. Approximately 120,000 students are expected to sit the CSEC examinations, while over 30,000 are registered to sit CAPE. Letitia Isaacs for InfoHub.
As Guyana and the rest of the world battle the coronavirus, industries around the world have been impacted, particularly the tourism sector. Today, the Department of Tourism, in association with the Caribbean Tourism Organization and the Organization of American States, hosted a virtual seminar where long-term ideas were discussed to sustain the tourism industry. Here's that report.
The meeting was hosted under the theme Lockdown, Not Shutdown, Keeping the Tourism Industry Alive. Minister of Business Hemraj Rajkumar, who has responsibility for tourism, noted that the presence of COVID-19 in Guyana and the wider Caribbean has had a significant impact on the tourism industry. He urged stakeholders to brainstorm on how to sustain the industry.
We must put our heads together and have discussion and come up with initiatives which can guide us through this period of the COVID-19. And we must come up with ideas also how we can sustain the industry during this time. Not forgetting, we must also consider and think and come up with initiative also how we can enhance our tourism product. And also we must have strategies, develop strategies to have effective marketing of our tourist destination post-COVID.
This was re-emphasized by CTO Representative Neil Walters. He said the Caribbean body recognizes that it is very critical for any stakeholder in the industry to recover from the pandemic, since no one sector is going to be able to recover on its own.
So that collaboration in all forms, whether it is internationally, regionally, or nationally, is very important. And we think initiatives like this are very worthy of our support.
The meeting also saw presentations from several stakeholders outlining long-term plans on moving forward post-COVID-19. The meeting was attended by Minister of Public Telecommunications, Catherine Hughes, representatives of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Ministry of Public Health, the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, and several other regional stakeholders. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Remember to do your part to ensure that you do not put yourself at risk during this time. If you have a cough, a fever, or difficulty breathing, seek medical care early, but call that hotline first. That's all for today. Connect with us on our social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, as we bring you the latest and important news related to COVID-19 and much more. You can also subscribe to our website, dpi.gov.gy. Your Bridge Report is up next. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye for now.